The United Kingdom convened a meeting of the Security Council to discuss the mass murders committed by the Russian military in Bucha during its occupation. The Ukrainian side showed uncensored video from the liberated settlements. The footage shocked those present.
To thank the delegation of Ukraine for sharing that video with us. The images are harrowing. Speaking in my national capacity, we are appalled by what we have seen and reiterate our solidarity with Ukraine.
Bucha is just one example of the mass atrocities the Russian military is committing in Ukraine, stressed Volodymyr Zelensky. There are also Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Mariupol and many places not yet liberated, which we have yet to be horrified by. And Russia will not recognize a single crime, the president of Ukraine is sure.
They will blame everyone to justify their own actions. They will say that there are various versions and it is impossible to establish which one of those versions is true. They will even say that the bodies were thrown away and all the videos are staged. But it is 2022 now. We have conclusive evidence. There are satellite images. We can conduct full and transparent investigations.
Russia is turning the veto in the UN Security Council into a right of death, Volodymyr Zelensky said. He called for immediate reform of the organization.
We need decisions from the Security Council for peace in Ukraine. If you do not know how to make this decision, you can do two things. Either remove Russia as an aggressor and a source of war, so it cannot block decisions about its own aggression, its own war, and then do everything that we can do to establish peace. Or the other option is please show we can reform or change. Dissolve yourself and work for peace. Or if there is no alternative and no option, then the next option would be to dissolve yourself altogether.
The United States will seek Russia's removal from the United Nations Human Rights Council. This was announced by a representative of the United States.
Every day we see more and more how little Russia respects human rights. And that is why I announced yesterday that the United States, in coordination with Ukraine and many other UN member states, will seek Russia's suspension from the UN Human Rights Council. Given the growing mountain of evidence, Russia should not have a position of authority in a body whose very purpose is to promote respect for human rights.
The main task of Volodymyr Zelensky's speech was to inform the international community about the need for reforms in the United Nations, says political scientist Igor Petrenko. The organization, the purpose of which was to prevent wars, does not cope with the tasks.
We are really at a crossroads now, when the whole system of international security and all these organizations with very nice names and big budgets just cannot cope with what is happening now. If Russia can even block humanitarian issues that are not directly related to territorial issues, weapons and something else, what else can we talk about?
Volodymyr Zelensky in his speech also invited to establish a United Nations peacekeeping office in Kyiv. According to him, Ukraine is ready to provide a platform for one of the main offices of the renewed United Nations security system. Reported by Marina Stepanenko, Anna Holod, UATV News.